So, when you think of homelessness, you might think of large cities, but this is actually a growing problem right here in our community in Provo. Utah County has seen a steady increase in homelessness with a 34% increase just in 2025 alone. More concerning is the fact that here in BYU, we have no dedicated overnight homeless shelter. This is scary for us students as high housing costs and low supply can put pressure on local housing and even push students onto the street. We're here today to discuss this crisis impacting the very streets and people around us.
Utah law defines homelessness as sleeping somewhere not made for regular living, such as a car, a park, a tent, or even temporary shelters. And while we don't have an exact number for Provo, we do have the 2025 point in time count for Utah County, and they estimated there were 235 homeless individuals. Local police estimate that there could be up to 200 homeless people in just Provo alone, and this shows that there's a big discrepancy in how we track homeless people and that they don't receive the help that they could because they go unnoticed. It's also estimated that about 8% of homeless individuals are university students, and so this problem could be a lot more relevant to us than we think it is. Homeless people say that they became homeless because of expensive rent, low income, family conflict, or escaping violence. And BYU students can relate to this a lot as you're trying to find your first place to rent with roommates or a first house. And when homeless people were asked why they stay here, many said that they can't afford to move, or they rely on resources or the LDS community and public transportation, and that's the same reason it keeps a lot of students here as well. As we talk about the numbers and why people stay in Provo, it's important to remember that homelessness isn't just a statistic and that it's personal, and that leads us to a bigger picture of who's actually affected.
Up to this point, you've probably had some images pop into your mind of your past experiences, seeing somebody sleeping under a bridge, somebody begging on the side of the road for money. But homelessness is a lot more personal than this. In fact, more and more of those affected are not chronically homeless, but people facing crises such as job loss, unexpected bills, rising rents, and family challenges. I'm sure most of us can relate as college students to these like challenges. Governor Cox shared recently, "We've seen what doesn't work. We have to get these people help." Behind every statistic is a person, a veteran, a refugee, a parent, someone trying to hold on. Being homeless doesn't necessarily mean just not having a place to sleep. It's insecurity, uncertainty, and often invisibility. PD, a former senior homeless woman in Utah, shares, "It's like I was okay one day and the next day it was over." She lost her job during the COVID layoffs, lost housing, and found herself in a trailer and then ended up on the streets. Charles, a former homeless man in Provo, said that you blink and all of your stuff is gone. Even small delays and brief displacements can often result in the loss of entire belongings. As students at BYU, we can make an impact by learning about those struggling with homelessness. If we see people for their stories, we'll begin to find real, compassionate answers.
So how can we change our perceptions? A great place to start is learning about the local laws and regulations surrounding homelessness in our area. Did you know that current Provo City Code prohibits an individual from sleeping or camping in a public area without prior authorization? These codes specifically target individuals experiencing homelessness and can even leave them at risk for citation and violation and arrest if these codes are violated. Understanding these codes helps us to understand the issues faced by those experiencing homelessness not only on a personal, but also on a systemic level. Though, as students, we can make a difference. There are plenty of opportunities to volunteer throughout Provo. The Food and Care Coalition provides essential services and resources daily for those experiencing homelessness. Warming centers located in Provo help provide shelter for unhoused individuals during cold winter months. The Community Action Food Bank relies on volunteers to help feed individuals going through difficult moments. On a personal level, one of the most important things that we can do is treat those experiencing homelessness with dignity. What matters most is avoiding assumptions, avoiding judgment, and remembering that homelessness is an experience, not an identity. My challenge to you is this: take one step, whether that's learning more, volunteering, or treating somebody experiencing homelessness with dignity. Your one step can drastically change someone's day.